Take goggles. I don't want to lose eyesight.
Third week, fourth week, you're like, holy cow, my hair's gone.
Was it awesome?
Amazing.
So what if you just don't have this stuff on there? It's for purposes of gliding or for
A little bit of
for,
both. It helps with
light?
the optical density. I mean, it helps with the gliding and protects the tissue a little bit. Even though the device is beeping, you're firing 5 shots a second. So the beeping is just a metronome. We are now able to treat in 2 of the 3 instead of just antigen. We can now treat in antigen and catagen. Okay. We've gone from treating 30% of the hair to 66% of the hair.
Oh, gotcha.
But like we talked about earlier, the toughest part is managing that. You're not going to see a change. You're not going to have that perifollicular edema. You're not going to be red and swollen and all this. You're just going to be regular. And then in 3 weeks, you're going to notice significantly less hair.
Welcome back to the Dr. Mudgil Show. In this episode, we're going to be discussing the #1 laser procedure performed worldwide, laser hair removal.
Hey guys, I'm Dr. Mudgil. I'm a dermatologist and dermatopathologist based in New York City and Long Island. I'm a New York Times super doctor and a Castle Connolly top doctor. I practice cosmetic, medical, and surgical dermatology. Welcome to the Dr. Mudgil Show.
In this episode, we're going to be diving into all things laser hair removal. We have a great lineup for you guys. First, we're going to be getting into some of the science behind laser hair removal and discussing how the technology works. We're also going to share some new sophisticated technology that allows us for the very first time to administer hair removal in a completely pain-free manner. You're going to see a treatment of laser hair removal on yours truly. And last, we're going to meet with the company that brought this amazing technology over from Italy. So let's not waste another minute. Let's get right into it.
Laser hair removal is one of the most common procedures that we perform in my offices. But what exactly is laser hair removal and how does laser hair removal work? You're about to find out. Watch this art. Laser hair removal is a super effective, super popular procedure because it works. The way the laser works is it heats up the hair that's sitting in the hair follicle. And by doing that, that heat causes the stem cell, which is what's responsible for hair growth, to get obliterated. If there's no stem cell in the hair follicle, there's no hair. That's how laser hair removal works. Let me show you. So this is your skin, and these are hair follicles. This is the root of the hair, and the hair comes above the skin. This is what you see. So this is the hair on your head, the hair on your arm, the hair on your armpits, the hair on your back, anywhere on your body. And you can use the laser to treat hair on any part of the body to remove it. The key though is to make sure there's no hair on the surface of the skin. The way lasers work is that they target a pigment. So in this case, the laser is targeting pigment within the hair itself. So if there's hair on the surface of the skin, the laser is going to target that hair and not going to get to where it needs to be. The laser needs to hit this area here where the stem cell lives. So the key between treatments is to shave your skin. You basically want no hair above the skin. You want the hair to be living in the hair follicle, but just at the surface of the skin, there's no hair at all. It's all underneath the skin. So what happens is when you fire a laser, the light from the laser gets under the skin and attacks the pigment that's within the hair follicle itself. And by doing so, it heats up that hair follicle and basically just destroys this hair. So no more hair can grow from that hair follicle. It takes multiple treatments for laser hair removal to work. So typically it takes about 5 treatments. Each treatment, you get about a 20% reduction in the hairs that are on the skin. So after 5 treatments, theoretically 100% of the hair is gone. Now traditionally, laser hair removal has been very painful, but because it's such an effective procedure, our patients have been willing to endure the pain because it's worth it. You don't have to shave your legs, you don't have to shave your armpits, you don't have to get waxed, you don't have to get threaded. So in terms of convenience for better quality of life, if a patient can eliminate that part of their maintenance regimen, they're gonna be a lot happier. For instance, I don't like the hair on my back, so I lasered the hair off of my back and it makes my life much easier. So when we use the laser emits a zap of energy and a zap of light, and that light is absorbed by the hair follicle and it emits heat, and that's what kills the hair follicle. Now, typically, like I mentioned, the laser would give like one swelt vop of light, and that snap of light is very painful. It hurts the skin, the pressure of the laser kind of pounding on the skin, all of it's pretty painful. But what's really exciting is we have brand new state-of-the-art technology that delivers that same amount of energy without any pain. This enables us to perform laser hair removal in a completely painless manner. Let's go check out the laser. So this device here is the Modus AX, which is the most sophisticated laser hair removal device on the market. The reason why this is different than more traditional laser hair removal devices is because the energy from the laser, rather than it be delivered all in one pulse, which is what causes lasers traditionally to be so painful, it's distributed over a period of time. So say over 45 seconds, that same amount of energy that would have been delivered in one pulse with a traditional laser, it's delivered over a broader period of time. Now this serves two purposes. It reduces the pain associated with laser hair removal, but it also enables the laser hair removal process to be more effective because the energy is delivered more evenly and more effectively over a period of time. So this is the laser handpiece itself. The light from the laser fires from this piece of sapphire. Now, typically when you perform laser hair removal, you just administer all of the energy in a zap. So you get zap, 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 zap. Now, that worked very well and our patients were very happy with that in terms of results, but it was very painful. And I've gone through that myself. It hurts. It works, but it hurts. Now, what's different about this, instead of administering all of that energy in one zap, we basically mark off a rectangular area or a square area, and we just kind of coast the laser over that area. That enables us to deliver that energy over a period of time, but instead of it being all in one zap, which is kind of like a gunshot, it basically enables us to paint the area and deliver that same amount of energy over a period of time. Now again, like I mentioned, this serves two purposes. It's a lot less painful because instead of getting that gunshot, you're basically delivering less energy with each sort of zap of the laser, but you're also able to treat an area pretty evenly, and that enables us to capture more viable hair follicles. And when you're able to do that, you're able to eliminate hair follicles, viable hair follicles, which makes laser hair removal a lot more effective. So now you know a little bit about how laser hair removal works and the science behind it. Laser hair removal is one of the most popular procedures that we perform. Patients love it because it's super effective. Even though it has traditionally been a very painful procedure, our patients would go through it because they love the results. But this particular technology is one of the biggest advancements I have seen in my career. When we come back from the break, you're going to see this laser in action. Hey guys, so today is the day I want to be getting laser hair removal performed on my back. The back for guys is a problem area because, let's be honest, who wants a hairy back? So this here is the most sophisticated laser hair removal device on the market. We had it imported from Italy. It is the only laser hair removal device that can remove hair in a painless manner. So let's get right into it.
G. Marie has the unfortunate task of shaving my back before we laser. The key is there can be no hair on the surface of the skin when you perform laser hair removal because the hair on the skin will actually absorb the light from the laser. So you don't want any hair on the surface of the skin. You just want the root of the hair underneath the skin, because the laser heats up the root of the hair. The heated up hair kills the stem cell, which kills the hair follicle. So that's how it works. So now that we're fully prepped and my back has been shaved, we're ready to start the laser. Gene, ordered an ultrasound gel warmer. Stat. Alright, so now Jean is lasering my back. Honestly, I don't feel a thing at all, just her rubbing the handpiece over my back. To be honest, we had another device here, which was the most advanced device prior to this one, which I had one procedure performed, and I only had one procedure performed because it hurt so much. But this is amazing. I mean, I literally feel nothing, and it's really revolutionizing laser hair removal. We're halfway done, and honestly, I don't feel a thing. In fact, I'm so ticklish I was even laughing through part of the procedure. It really is completely painless, and I mean, I can't believe it because it was so painful the last time I had it done. So I'm super excited about this technology, and our patients are really going to love it. It really is revolutionary.
So that's it. My full back was lasered in about 35 minutes. It was completely painless, I assure you. This was a very different experience than my last time getting laser hair removal. Prior to this laser, we had the most sophisticated device on the market, but it hurt. It was very effective, but it was painful. So it was sort of like a no pain, no gain situation for our patients. This was literally no pain, all gain. So I'm really excited to see the results. Typically for laser hair removal, it takes about 5 sessions for the complete treatment to be administered, and the treatments are spaced out about 4 to 6 weeks apart depending on the body part that's treated. So this was my first session. With each session you get about a 20% reduction in the hair. So by session 5 it should be completely hairless, but I'll get a good sense of the results in a month because 20% of the hair that was there should be completely gone.
Starting route to 175 Broad Hollow Road, then turn right onto Woodbury Road.
Sit on.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so we're off. We're fortunate enough to go meet with the guys who actually brought this laser technology to the United States. They actually happen to have their main offices.
1 miles. Turn left onto South Oyster Bay Road.
They actually have their main offices very close to my office here in Long Island, so we're off. But first, we need to get some gas. Dermatologists are fancy, but not fancy enough to pump their own gas. They're gonna need to do a lot of laser hair removal to pay for this bill. So we're gonna talk about how they heard of this technology, how they thought to bring it to the States, how they brought it to the States. The guy who started the company actually used to be a rep for one of the other laser companies I used to work for, and he actually started his own company, so he's the CEO. Yeah, it's gonna be good. We're gonna have a great conversation. I'm excited to actually learn about this myself.
So as promised, I'm super psyched to be sitting with Don DeBrita and Gabe Luben, who brought this insane technology to the States. Well, Gabe, I think you're really the guy who's responsible for it, which is like totally mind-blowing, revolutionary change in laser hair removal. So, you know, in the earlier part of the show, we performed laser hair removal on my back, and as I was just telling you guys, I've had laser hair removal done on my back twice before. Once was about a decade ago with technology that's obviously a decade old, and it was like insanely painful, like, you know, torture. I would have told you any of my secrets. And the second time I had it done was just a few years ago when I got the most sophisticated laser hair removal device on the market at the time. And to be honest, even that was like, I could only withstand one treatment. As I mentioned earlier in the show, that our patients, even though laser hair removal is traditionally such a painful procedure, and you know, there's never really been a hair removal device like this ever on the market. Right. Our patients would endure it because it was worth it. Like, it's just worth not having to shave your legs or, you know, have my kids shave my back, you know. But this was, you know, I had my whole back done, didn't feel a thing. So what I really want from you guys is to explain, one, you know, a little bit about the technology, like how it was developed, and then, you know, how you brought it over here to the States, because there's never been anything like this in the United States before.
For me, you know, hair removal is a huge market. You know, I mean, the growth in the aesthetic, you know, device market is huge, and you know, the number of treatments being provided goes up and up at, you know, huge CAGR every year. And when you look at from body contouring to, you know, treatments of skin and textural issues, the advancement's been tremendous. But with laser hair removal, which is the #1 most done laser IPL based procedure, there's been no real breakthrough technology or any real changes. And the two common denominators that I always see is, one, it's painful, and two, you're very limited on treating darker skin types. And I know that we've kind of defaulted to using a 1064 YAG, but not because it's a great wavelength for hair, but because it's safe.
Right.
So what really attracted me to the Modus when I started working with the manufacturer was, one, that it really didn't hurt, two, that it really worked, but three, for me, the #1 piece of this technology that's so remarkable is you're getting the type of clearance on dark skin patients that you used to only get on light skin patients.
Right. How did you find out about it? Like, you know, how does that work?
Yeah, so, you know, we were doing a lot of due diligence as we were kind of building our portfolio, and, you know, DECA, based out of Florence, is, you know, one of the top manufacturers of laser technology worldwide. You know, there's a lot of DECA technology in the United States already. So they were on our short list of manufacturers to work with, and actually myself and our CFO, John, flew out there in July or August of 2017, and when we were touring LN, which is the parent company that owns 28 different laser companies, they showed me the Modus and they treated me with it. And like you, I'd been treated with some of the same technologies, and I felt nothing. I was like, this is really comfortable, it's really fast, there's no way it's working. And then sure enough, about 5 or 6 weeks later, I noticed that my hair stopped growing back. So like, this is pretty cool. And I talked to some of our, you know, key derms, plastics like yourself, and the feedback was, if it doesn't work and it's good results and you can treat all skin types, it's a home run.
When Don showed me your hands, and you know, after one treatment, you know, and it's amazing when you see the efficacy of the laser. It's almost hard to wrap your head around a laser actually working without hurting, you know, because every other device that I use, whether it's fractional laser or, you know, IPL, pulse laser, whatever it is, it hurts, you know, but, you know, again, patients endure it because it's worth it, you know, for whatever cosmetic outcome they're looking for. Okay, so what people love with any device, like Gabe was mentioning, is efficacy. Obviously, you know, it has to work, but no pain is tremendous. So maybe you could walk us through why this laser is so effective and why it doesn't hurt.
Sure. Well, we have to start with sort of what we've accepted in laser hair removal for so many years. And that kind of leads us to exactly why DECA decided to look at this technology and say, hey, you know, we've been doing this for so long the same way, where you have that quick laser snap and you get that ejected hair follicle and you have a lot of pain, you get some perifollicular edema, which are those little red bumps that we see after. And DECA just kind of said, you know what? Time to do this better. We're better than this. So they looked into the science of what's actually happening with hair removal and how they're trying to treat it with a laser, and said we can do a similar approach. We're still using the most effective, the gold standard laser wavelength of 755 and an Alexandrite laser. Nobody argues that point. What we're doing, instead of high energy, low frequency, that big whack every time we fire a pulse of the laser.
So like in layman's terms, you're basically delivering tons of energy to the skin in a very short period of time.
That's the old way.
That's what hurts.
That's the old way, exactly. And the new way is to dial back that per energy or energy per shot and have a greater accumulation. And it's all based on this thermorelaxation time, which our skin cools much more quickly than the hair follicle. So what we're doing is delivering dosage to the hair follicle, giving the skin a millionth of a second to cool down a little bit because it cools so much more quickly. The hair's not cooling as quickly, and we're continuing to build up the heat in that hair to break the threshold of the bulb of the hair, almost using the follicle as a lightning rod.
So it's almost like the analogy is if you're trying to like boil a pot of water, a traditional laser would just go boom and the water boils.
Sure.
With this laser, you're gradually dialing up the heat. The skin doesn't get hot, but the hair follicle basically gets to a boil, and that's what kills.
Yep. You're actually getting a higher dosage. You're getting more efficacy and greater energy delivery. We're just not doing it in that quick shot. So yes, patient comfort's very important. The efficacy is very important. But one of the biggest pieces is being able to treat all skin types with this gold standard wavelength, which, we had to forfeit efficacy in the past and treat with a wavelength that wasn't as good at treating hair removal.
Right.
Because the darker skin types would have an affinity to that same laser.
Right.
So now we can treat all skin types with the best laser for hair removal.
It truly is. Well, I think that really, our viewers are really going to have a good understanding of what this technology is about. And I can't thank you guys enough for sitting down with us and really walking through some of the science behind it and some of the business of bringing this laser over here. So I can't thank you guys enough.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
This was awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to laser hair removal, you've seen it all. We discussed the science behind laser hair removal, we shared some laser hair removal procedures, and we also discussed exciting new technology that allows us to administer laser hair removal in a completely painless manner. If you're in the New York City area and would like to see me as a patient, you can contact either one of my offices to schedule a consultation. You can also find me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.